Books on Tape presents Darker Than Night by John Lutz, read by Scott Brick. Chapter 1. Jan Elsner jolted awake in alarm. Something, a sound from the kitchen, had intruded in gentle dreams she could no longer recall. She reached over to prod her husband Martin, but her hand found only smooth sheet, cool pillow. Maybe he'd been awakened before her and had gone to investigate the sound. Jan smiled, drifting back into shallow sleep, sure that her husband would return to bed and everything would be all right. Probably the sound was nothing, the ice maker doing its work, or a delicately balanced object falling in one of the cabinets. Martin would handle the situation, as he did most things. He was a man who... A voice. Unintelligible, but she was sure it was Martin's. Who could he be talking to? She glanced again at the clock radio by the bed. 3 a.m. The talking stopped. Jan opened her eyes wider and lay in the still darkness. The distant sounds of a half-awake Manhattan filtered in through the bedroom windows. A faint, faraway shout, a siren like a distant wolf on the hunt, a growling whisper of traffic below. Night sounds. She rolled over on her back, listening. Frightened, though she shouldn't be. I'm not afraid. There's nothing to fear. But she knew she was wrong. Martin never talked to himself. She couldn't imagine it. Something clanked, bounced lightly, then rolled over the kitchen's tile floor. She swiveled to a sitting position on the edge of the mattress, her heart drumming a rapid message of alarm. She remembered what her grandmother had told her years ago. The heart knows before the head, knows everything first. Beyond the bedroom doorway, she could see a rectangle of light from the kitchen, angled over the hall floor. Then the light altered as a shadow passed across it. What is Martin doing out there? She stood up, one bare foot on the woven throw rug beside the bed, the other on cool hardwood floor. That was one of the things she and Martin had liked most about their Upper West Side apartment, the polished oak floors. They knew somehow they could be happy there. And we were happy. Are happy. What did her heart know that her mind didn't? Fear was like a drug, yet it propelled her through her dread toward the light near the end of the hall. She had to find out, had to know what it was that terrified her. She walked stiff-legged in her silk nightgown, her pale fingers clenched around her thumbs. The only sound she heard now was the faint thump of her bare heels striking the wood floor as she lurched toward light and a horrible knowledge she couldn't avoid. She turned the corner and stood in the kitchen doorway. Her breathing stopped as she took it all in. The bright kitchen, Martin curled on the tile floor in what looked like a black shadow, the plastic bag and groceries scattered on the gleaming gray surface of the table. A tuna can lay on the floor near Martin's right arm. That's what I heard fall. It must have rolled off the table. She heard herself utter Martin's name as she took a step toward him. She wasn't surprised, not really, when a dark figure straightened up from behind the cooking island and moved toward her. It was more like a confirmation of what her terror had already told her. Something in his right hand. A gun? No. Yes. A gun with something attached to it. A gun with a silencer. Please. She saw one of her hands float up in front of her face. Please. Not me. Not me. Not yet. She barely heard the sput of the gun as the bullet ripped through tissue and bone, between her breasts, into her heart, a leaden missile tumbling and tearing through her world, her life, ending her past, her future, everything. She was still alive on the floor, beyond pain but not horror, as the man with the gun momentarily bent over Martin, then delicately stepped over her, careful not to get blood on his shoes, and continued toward the door. For an instant...